Hey guys, what's going on? Sifu Greg here. So today we're going to be working on the staff again, and we're going to go back a little further and we're going to work on basic blocks and strikes. A lot of the times through the videos we go through sets, and we're going to just break it down a little bit more. Really important that when we're holding the staff, right, because the staff is the mother of all weapons. So all the weapons that you guys train, it's really important to understand that the more that you focus on the staff training, the more that you focus on really working the staff and understanding the basics on the staff, everything else will fall into place. Gim, which is straight sword, if you're looking at double broadswords or short sticks or 3-section staff or 2-section staff, any of the weapons, spear, all of that comes off of this. That's why this is called the mother of all weapons. So the staff is really important to embrace and to understand the basics of it. So when we're working the staff, not only when we start with holding the staff correctly here, you know, this is showing it's a very militant posture, but what it's also doing is showing the strength in your wrists. So a lot of the times what we do is we work wrist strength. Okay, so we're going to start with wrist strength today. I'm going to show you some exercises to build your wrist strength, because the more that your wrists are strong, the easier it is to maneuver the staff, and we're going to go through that as well. Remember guys, this video is just one part of what the Patreon video is. So if you like what you see here, there's an uncut version on the Patreon page, which I really think that you guys would love. You just have to go over there, sign up, and see which tier that fits your liking, and then you guys get those videos. And remember, all the Patreon videos have about 3 or 4 minutes extra, and I don't think there's any commercials. So we're going to start with holding the staff all the way at the end. And what we're going to do here is we're going to work our wrist. So what I do from here is we keep the weapon straight, and don't use your arm, but bring the weapon all the way out. And all we're going to do is we're going to do 5 sets of just lifting this way. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From here, we're going to turn the wrist left to right, right? So each movement is a set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now from here, what we're going to do is circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as we do this, try to make the circles as tight as possible, so you're really working all of those ligaments and all the muscles and the tendons, and really getting that strength in the wrist that you need. Because the wrist is a joint. So we really have to build the muscles and the tendons around the joints in order to really strengthen everything there. So it's really important that we do this. A lot of people don't take the time to do this. And then the next exercise is actually coming down and letting the wrist go as far as it can go, and then come all the way up and come back to center. So we go 1, all the way down, all the way back up, back to center. 2, up, all the way down, back up, back to center. And we go 3, up, all the way down, all the way up, back to center. And we go 4. And this we do on both sides. We don't just do one side of our body, because our body left and right has to be strong, and it has to have the dexterity of moving the weapon. So it's very important that we do this on both sides. If the weapon's too light, you switch to the small end of the weapon and you do the same thing, and you work the same exercise. So the more weight is at the end of the weapon opposed to being at the other end. If the weapon is too heavy for you, every time that you choke up on the weapon, it gives you a little bit lighter of a weapon to use. All right, guys, so let's work with our basics today. So anytime that we work with our basics, just what we want to do is we want to get into the mindset of starting in position, going to natural position, right? If we're going over a form, to kick up and get ready this way, or from this position here, right? We go from here into natural position, and then from here, we're just going to go into our guard. All right? So when we're getting into position, we're going to go here, put the weapon down into natural, And then from here, we're gonna grab and we're gonna drop into our guard stance position. Our guard stance position is a fighting horse stance. So we wanna work our fighting horse stance, keep our back straight, and we wanna have a good posture and make sure our hands are in the right space. So if my hand is all the way up here and I'm holding the staff this way, this is absolutely wrong. This is no good. We wanna be at the end of the staff. And the reason why we wanna be at the end of the staff is because if you notice when I push down here, all of the energy goes to the end of the staff. So the most important part of the staff is the end, because all of the energy travels to the end of the staff when you hit your opponent. So you want to work with that. Yes, you block with all the rest of the weapon, but the most important part when you're striking, you're getting all that energy, you want that to be here. If I'm here, the energy is not as tight. If I'm here, now we create more of energy traveling to the end of the weapon, okay? So from here, from this position, from horse stance position, we keep this is our rudder. We keep this connected. If you notice, as I move here, the weapon at the tip moves in the opposite direction. So if I want to block, I don't have to use my front hand to block, because that pushes my body off center and it becomes a weak link. So from here, I block. I keep my body away from my opponent, and I can utilize the back as the rudder to control where my weapon is. So from horse stance position, I control. So this is an inside scrape. This is going to be an outside scrape. So the inside scrape here, blocking low, I have the back part of the weapon protecting the top part of my body, and then the lower part scraping whatever in the way. So this is our inside scrape, and this here is going to be our outside scrape. So the outside scrape circles, and I keep the rudder close, and then bring it up to get more power and to get a good scrape in there. So inside scrape, outside scrape, inside scrape, outside scrape. Again, inside, outside, inside, outside. So same thing here. We're going to stay in our horse stance. We want to develop a good mabu. We want to develop a good horse stance, good intermuscle connection. From here, we're going to go middle. So now our middle block, we're going to go here. Now notice the left hand comes out, and that controls our middle block going in the opposite direction. So this is a regular middle, or we can call it even a fan block. So we're going to fan block outside, and then we're going to fan block inside. And using the rudder against the body, I have pressure. So if you notice, the energy goes to the end of the weapon. So I can block here or block here. I don't want to do this because this exposes the body for this if I go too far. So this here gives good power, and I can block and stop right here and be able to strike my opponent, right? So I'm going to go middle here and then middle here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we go back to scrape, 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 middle, middle. Now from horse, we're going to go thrust. So I turn my hip here to get the power to go to the end of the staff. My foot turns here. Shaolin is known for the heel turning. So when the heel turns, my hip turns, and then the energy travels out to the staff. That's quite a bit of information. Guys, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. If you want more information, go to Patreon. Come to the YouTube page, enjoy it, subscribe, click the button, hit the bell so that you get more notifications. But most important, check out the Patreon. The more you support the Patreon, the more I'm going to be able to put these videos up. So thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.